Hi, everybody. My name's Antonio. This is Lauren, and this is Kayla. Our presentation's geared towards the Ontario Ministry of Children, Community, and Social Services. I'll let Kayla get us started.
Our group was tasked with answering the question of whether children in low-income areas are at a greater risk for lower language, cognitive development, and communication skills. Literature has demonstrated that lower abilities in these areas, which we have captured by using data from the Early Development Instrument, are correlated with a high school incompletion and a higher risk for encounters with the justice system. These behaviors hold economic implications as they lead to prevalent rates of reliance on social services and welfare and lower rates of university enrollment.
So looking at our key findings, we first looked at the Early Development Instrument scores from the 49 Ontario Census divisions, and we actually found that there was no significant relationship that suggests that children from low-income areas are more likely to have lower language, cognitive development, and communication skills. However, after evaluating the literature and controlling for three other independent variables, median family income, unemployment rate, and rate of lone parent families, we actually found that there is a significant relationship between the higher rates of lone parent families and the rate of lower language, cognitive development, and communication skills. So as the rate of lone parent families increases by 1%, the rate of children at risk of lower language and cognitive development increases by 0.263%, and with those with lower communication skills increases by 0.839%. So it is also shown that 1 in 10 children in Ontario have challenges with communication development.
To better understand these findings, we must highlight the relationship between low income status and lone parent families. Lone parent families are overrepresented in the low income rate. 38.9% of all children in low income households in Canada come from lone parent families versus 11.2% from coupled families. Literature highlights several challenges that derive from this relationship. Working extra hours to compensate for a single income limits lone parents' time with their children. Without adequate policy, poverty is often transmitted through generations of families, limiting early childhood opportunities. Further, high poverty areas tend to have higher rates of parental depression, crime rates, and limited social support, all of which are seen to create academic challenges for children. Lastly, financial barriers prevent lone parent families from accessing early childhood education and care spaces, which are mostly privatized or run by nonprofit organizations with limited resources.
So here we have included a map of Ontario divided by census divisions. The divisions highlighted in red are calculated to show the divisions that are above provincial average in terms of lone parent families, and also the percent of children at risk of having lower language, cognitive development, and communication skills. So we can see that these variables are highly connected in certain divisions. Examining year cycles resulted in no consistent trends. However, mapping out these variables proved more worthwhile, as we were able to see that affected divisions are not confined to regional boundaries or rural versus urban areas. And it would be also important to analyze the EDI on a more micro level, as many of these census divisions have ranging pockets of different income levels.
So based on our findings and our story, we came up with 2 policy recommendations. The first one is to expand ECC access and dedicated space to low-income and lone-parent families. The services promote young children's development and combat poverty through intergenerational interventions by improving literacy and targeting children's basic needs. These basic needs have profound effects on a child's cognitive development, language, and communication skills. Expanding access to these spaces can be funded through existing funds, Ontario's $439 million 3-year Canada-Ontario Early Learning and Childcare Agreement. We recommend a provincial funding municipal delivery model so that municipalities can define access and determine the services that best fit the needs of their communities. Secondly, we think that increasing public investment in ECC services from 0.25% of GDP to between 1.2 and 1.5%, comparable to other OECD countries, is a recommendation worth exploring. This increase in public expenditure can address concerns that affect children from lone parent families. Only 18% of Canadian children aged 0 to 3 are enrolled in childcare. As a result, in some neighborhoods, 70% of our children are not kindergarten ready when they start school. Sweden's early education and childcare subsidy model can be a blueprint for Ontario. In 2002, Sweden set voluntary maximum fees for preschools and after-school care spaces in municipalities based on parents' income. Municipalities are incentivized to apply the program through available government grants that subsidize the loss of income and assures the quality of the services regardless of family income. To conclude, we believe the recommendations can improve development outcomes of children in Ontario, and investing in programs today leads to larger savings in the future. Thank you.